Hello, in today's video, I'll cover the complete Trump-Epstein case without any biasness and personal opinion. The topic of Donald Trump's connection to Jeffrey Epstein and the so-called Epstein list is a complex and controversial one, surrounded by a mix of documented facts, allegations, conspiracy theories, and public speculation. I'll provide a detailed chronological account of everything known about this connection, from their early relationship to recent developments, based on available information up to July 18, 2025. I'll include verified facts, allegations, and the status of the Epstein list while addressing the broader context and controversies. Given the sensitive nature of the topic, I'll stick to sourced information, critically examine the narrative, and avoid speculative leaps. Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were part of the same wealthy social circles in New York City and Palm Beach, Florida, during the 1980s and 1990s. Both were prominent figures in high society, with Epstein as a financier and Trump as a real estate mogul. Their relationship was documented through photographs, flight logs, and public statements. Photos from the 1990s and early 2000s show Trump and Epstein together at events, including at Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach. A notable image from 1997 captures them posing together, and another from 2000 includes Trump, Melania Noss, now Trump, Epstein, and Ghislaine Maxwell at Mar-a-Lago. Epstein's private plane, dubbed the Lolita Express, was used by many individuals. Trump's name appears in flight logs released in the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, showing he flew on Epstein's jet 7 times between 1993 and 1994, often between Palm Beach and New York. Some flights included his then-wife Marla Maples, their daughter Tiffany, and a nanny. These logs do not indicate wrongdoing, as many used Epstein's plane for legitimate travel. In a 2002 New York Magazine interview, Trump described Epstein as a terrific guy and noted, "It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side." This comment, made before Epstein's 2005 investigation, has been widely cited as evidence of their friendly relationship at the time. Epstein and Trump frequented similar venues, including Mar-a-Lago and New York City events. A 1992 NBC archive video shows them socializing at Mar-a-Lago, pointing out women on the dance floor. Epstein was a frequent guest at Mar-a-Lago, and Trump reportedly attended Epstein's parties in New York. Michael Wolff, in his Fire and Fury podcast, claimed Epstein described tactics he and Trump used to pick up women in Atlantic City casinos. Though these claims are based on Wolff's recordings and lack independent corroboration, Trump has claimed he and Epstein had a falling out around 2004, before Epstein's 2005 Palm Beach investigation. He stated in 2019, "I was not a fan of his, that I can tell you," and cited a dispute over a property deal in Palm Beach as the cause. Sources suggest Trump banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago after learning of his behavior, though this is unverified. In 2005, Palm Beach police began investigating Epstein after a 14-year-old girl reported molestation at his mansion. The investigation uncovered dozens of underage victims, leading to a 2006 indictment. Trump was not implicated in this case, and no evidence suggests he was involved in Epstein's crimes. 2008. Epstein struck a controversial plea deal with then U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta, avoiding federal charges and pleading guilty to state charges of soliciting a minor for prostitution. He served 13 months in a county jail with work release. Acosta later served as Trump's labor secretary 2017-2019 but resigned in 2019 amid backlash over the deal. Trump has not been accused of wrongdoing. In the 2005 to 2008 case, he claimed in 2019 that he distanced himself from Epstein 15 years earlier, circa 2004. Aligning with the timeline of the investigation, Epstein was arrested again in July 2019 on federal sex trafficking charges involving minors. He died in a Manhattan jail cell on August 10, 2019, with the official ruling being suicide by hanging. This sparked widespread conspiracy theories, with some alleging murder to protect powerful associates. After Epstein's arrest, Trump distanced himself, saying, "I was not a fan," and reiterated their falling out. He expressed warmer sentiments toward Ghislaine Maxwell in 2020, saying, "I just wish her well," frankly, which drew criticism. Trump and his allies, including Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, later FBI director and deputy director under Trump, amplified theories that Epstein was murdered or that a client list existed, implicating elites. These claims gained traction among MAGA supporters but lacked evidence. The term Epstein list or client list refers to a rumored document, allegedly, naming powerful individuals involved in Epstein's sex trafficking activities. Despite widespread speculation, no such list has been verified to exist. Released documents include flight logs, contact books, and court filings, but none confirm a client list implicating specific individuals in crimes. released in the Ghislaine Maxwell trial and in 2024 to 2025 by the DOJ. These logs name Trump among others, for example, Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, who flew on Epstein's plane. Presence on the logs does not indicate wrongdoing. Epstein's black book and contact lists, partially released, include Trump, Ivanka Trump, Ivana Trump, and others like Rupert Murdoch. These lists reflect Epstein's social network, not criminal activity. In Virginia, Jeffrey's 2015 defamation lawsuit against Maxwell, unsealed in 2024. Trump is mentioned but not accused of wrongdoing. For example, Johanna Schoberg testified about a 2001 plane stop at Trump's Atlantic City casino, but said she never gave Trump a massage or saw him act improperly. Former model Stacey Williams alleged in October 2024, during a Survivors for Harris Zoom call, that in 1993, Epstein took her to Trump Tower, where Trump groped her in a twisted game while Epstein watched. Trump's campaign denied the claim, calling it unequivocally false and noting Williams' past activism for Barack Obama. The allegation, first reported by The Guardian, lacks corroboration beyond Williams' account. Journalist Michael Wolff released audio from 2017 interviews with Epstein, claiming Epstein spoke for 100 hours about Trump's inner circle and their close relationship. Epstein allegedly described Trump's manipulative tactics with aides, for example, Steve Bannon, Kellyanne Conway, and claimed they were closest friends for 10 years. Wolff also alleged Epstein showed photos of Trump with topless women, though these photos have not been made public. The Trump campaign called Wolff a disgraced writer who fabricates lies, and the claims remain unverified in the Juvry lawsuit documents. Sarah Ransom claimed in 2016 emails to a journalist that Trump, Bill Clinton, and others had sex with minors, but she later recanted, admitting she lacked evidence. These claims were dismissed as unreliable. Attorney General Pam Bondi, appointed by Trump, released Epstein-related documents, including flight logs and contact lists, on February 27, 2025. These were heavily redacted and contained little new information, leading to criticism from both MAGA supporters and Democrats. Bondi had hyped the release, claiming a client list was on her desk, but the documents disappointed those expecting bombshell revelations amid a public feud with Trump. Elon Musk posted on X on June 5, 2025, that Trump is in the Epstein files, suggesting this was why files remained unreleased. Musk deleted the post, and no evidence supports his claim. Democrats, including Reps. Robert Garcia and Jamie Raskin, cited Musk's post to demand full disclosure of files mentioning Trump. On July 7, 2025, Trump's DOJ and FBI, led by Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, issued a memo concluding: 1. No client list exists. 2. Epstein died by suicide. And 3. No evidence supports blackmail or further charges against third parties. The memo included video footage from Epstein's jail cell supporting the suicide ruling. This contradicted earlier conspiracy theories pushed by Patel and Bongino, angering MAGA supporters who felt betrayed. Trump dismissed the controversy, calling it a hoax and urging supporters to move on from Epstein, whom he called a creep. He defended Bondi, saying she was doing a fantastic job, and claimed ignorance of unreleased files. Deferring to Bondi when asked if his name was in the files, he said, No. As of July 18, 2025, no credible evidence links Trump to Epstein's criminal activities. His appearances in flight logs, contact books, and court documents reflect a social relationship, not criminal involvement. Allegations from Williams, Wolff, and Ransom lack corroboration or have been recanted. The DOJ and FBI's July 2025 memo explicitly states no client list exists, and no evidence supports claims of Epstein blackmailing powerful figures. Despite this, the idea persists in public discourse, fueled by supporters like Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene and influencers like Laura Loomer demanded more transparency, accusing Bondi of a cover-up. Some called for her firing, favoring Patel and Bongino, who had previously pushed conspiracy theories. House Democrats, including Jamie Raskin and Dan Goldman, demanded unredacted files mentioning Trump, citing Musk's claim. They accused Bondi of protecting Trump, though no new evidence supports this. X posts and media coverage continue to amplify the list narrative, with some claiming Trump, Ivanka, and Ivana are in Epstein's black book or flight logs. These claims often exaggerate or misrepresent the document's significance. The Epstein case remains a lightning rod for conspiracy theories due to its mix of wealth, power, and tragedy. Trump's supporters view the lack of new disclosures as a betrayal of his transparency promises, while critics use his past friendship with Epstein to fuel allegations. Both sides have exploited the narrative for political gain. With no resolution, the DOJ memo states that some files are withheld due to their graphic nature, involving child sexual abuse material or details that could harm victims or innocent individuals. This has not quelled suspicions, as both sides question the government's motives. The evidence confirms a social and business relationship in the 1990s and early 2000s, consistent with their shared elite circles. Trump's flights on Epstein's plane and their mutual appearances at events are documented, but no credible allegations tie him to Epstein's crimes. The falling out narrative aligns with the 2004-2005 timeline, but is unverified beyond Trump's statements. The absence of a client list after years of investigation suggests it may be a myth, amplified by public distrust in institutions. Both MAGA and Democratic narratives have fueled speculation, with no smoking gun emerging. The Epstein case is a political football. MAGA supporters initially saw it as a chance to expose a deep state, but the DOJ's findings disappointed them. Democrats used Trump's past ties to question his character, though unproven allegations weaken their case. Michael Wolff's tapes and Stacey Williams' allegations, while attention-grabbing, lack corroboration and face credibility challenges. For example, Wolff's history of sensationalism, Williams' political ties, official documents, flight logs, court filings are more reliable but mundane, showing no criminal link to Trump. So, winding it up by the conclusion that Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were friends and social acquaintances in the 1990s and early 2000s, as evidenced by photos, flight logs, and Trump's own comments. Their relationship ended around 2004, before Epstein's 2005 investigation. While Trump appears in Epstein-related documents, flight logs, contact books, no credible evidence links him to Epstein's sex trafficking crimes. The Epstein list, or client list, is a persistent rumor, debunked by the DOJ and FBI in July 2025, which found no such list or evidence of blackmail. Allegations from Stacey Williams and Michael Wolff, while serious, remain unverified and contested. The controversy continues to fuel political division, with both sides leveraging the Epstein case for their narratives. But as of July 18, 2025, no new revelations substantiate claims against Trump beyond his documented social ties.